My name is Nicholas Sotu. I taught high school physics for 7 years, and I'm excited to share a little bit about how grading for equity and my work there impacted my teaching practice because I cannot overstate the significance of the impact that it had. A couple of things it did for me was it provided satisfying solutions for some of my biggest existential issues with our grading system and our education system in general. Um, and it helped me improve my teaching practice and specifically better aligning my grading, my assessments, my activities and assignments, and even my lessons with the next generation science standards. When students come to my class, they don't generally come in with the goal of understanding the physical laws that govern our universe. Generally, their goals are either passing the class or earning a certain grade in the class. Um, Obviously, I would like for their goal to be improving their understanding of the physical laws that govern our universe. So, grading for equity gave me a simple solution for that. The more closely I could tie their grade to their understanding of physics, the more our goals became aligned. And this was something that I made explicit to my students and parents from literally the very first day of class, um, that our academic grades would be as aligned as they could be to how well students understood physics, how well they had demonstrated mastery of the next generation science standards for physics of the universe. And then that gave me an anchor point for all of my teaching practices because then I looked at my assessments. And if I really wanted to make sure that our grades were accurate reflections of how well students had demonstrated mastery of the standards, then I had to retool some of my questions because I used to do that thing that a lot of teachers do where a lot of the questions on the final exam or the unit test would be questions, the exact same questions with the exact same answer that students had seen on a previous assessment or in class. Because I wanted to reward students who were paying attention in class. But then I realized that I was really just testing who was paying attention. I wasn't really The answers weren't showing me how well students had mastered uh, those concepts that I was trying to test. So I started to take a closer look at aligning my assessments with um, the next generation science standards. And then I started to realize that some of my activities and the assignments I was providing for students weren't optimized for that result. So I had to start to change those around a little bit. And initially, at first, when I was making some of these changes, I realized it was really difficult because um, I had to check my ego and I had to come to terms with how ineffective my teaching had been beforehand. Um, and that's really the most honest way I can put it. And I think that was the hardest part of this whole process, um, was recognizing that the majority of my students weren't really mastering the standards, and it's because my teaching wasn't as good as it could have been for that goal. But grading for equity gives you those tools to then improve your teaching practice and to um, improve your student outcomes so that your students are actually mastering the standards instead of just you know showing up and completing work and things like that. I'm sure I could go on for a really long time about this. Like I said, it was a huge um, positive impact that grading for equity had on my teaching practice. But I don't want this to drag on too much. I think I hit the most important things that I wanted to. So thank you.